Hello, my name is Adam Smale. I'm a professor of management focusing on human resource management and international management, and I currently serve as the Dean of the School of Management. And I've taught executive education and MBAs for well over 15 years.
What drives your passion for teaching, and why do you continue to dedicate time to nurture the next generation of leaders in the field of management and business administration?
My passion for teaching really stems from a belief in the importance of what I teach. In this particular case, management, leadership, and that I feel that I can help participants navigate their way to become more effective leaders. And the benefits of this are not only felt amongst the participants, but also by extension, the teams that they lead will also experience the benefits of them being better in a leadership role. We can all identify, I think, with the positives and negatives of having a good boss or a bad boss. So I believe that what drives my passion for teaching these particular subject areas in management and leadership is the transformational effects it has not only on the participants, but the felt benefits of those that they are leading. I think the other thing that drives my passion for teaching, especially in executive education or MBA classroom, is that I learn a lot as a teacher through the discussions that I have with participants who collectively can have many, many years of management experience. I get to see whether the things that I'm talking about are relevant, whether they resonate with the participants, and they can also, and regularly do, challenge some of the things that I'm saying based on their own experiences.
What have been the most significant changes that you have observed in how multinational corporations handle talent management in multicultural environments?
One of the biggest changes that we're seeing is the intensification of competition for talent, especially young professionals. And this is visible globally, but especially in the Western world and right here in Finland. And this is mostly to do with issues in the supply of young domestic professionals due to demographic changes. So what we're seeing in multinationals is a reaction to this, very much centered around how to strengthen the employer brand and the employee value proposition. But what we're seeing is that this is being done increasingly in cooperation with national and city-level initiatives, because countries, cities, and corporations realize they have shared interests and shared goals as well as shared challenges in being able to attract a sufficient number of international talented professionals to come and work in Finland. And so we're seeing some interesting initiatives where companies and cities are working together to, for example, give international talent the red carpet treatment. So it's not just about the benefits they receive from working for the organization, but the benefits they get from living in a certain location. The other innovative activities we're seeing in talent attraction are headhunting or the talent scouting of non-active job seekers. So trying to tempt people away from their current workplaces, even though they might not be actively looking for work. I think the other category of responses that we're seeing to this global war for talent is a reaction to the so-called Great Resignation, where since the pandemic, people have been re-evaluating their priorities, their work patterns and hybrid working. But also this is clearly now an employee market, meaning there are a lot of attractive job opportunities. What this means is that this is a perfect storm for retention issues. So we're seeing organizations taking a very proactive stance to how they manage retention, including early intervention initiatives to try and identify when people might be at risk of leaving, whether they are talent or not in a given area, and the speed with which organizations can react to these situations.
The concept of talents is nuanced and can vary widely between cultures and industries. Based on your publications, how do employees' reactions to talent identification differ internationally? And what strategies can corporations adopt to address these variations effectively?
Well, I think the first thing to acknowledge is that when it comes to talent management, we can either pursue an exclusive approach or an inclusive approach. Now, with the inclusive approach, our approach is that everyone has talent. For example, everyone has a special set of skills that are important in work and for the organization, and it's about how to maximize the skill set that you have. The exclusive approach, on the other hand, is based on the idea that people at the same level may differ in performance and also differ in potential. And without the resources to be able to invest in everyone's professional and career development, you need to be able to make a choice on whom to focus on and to treat in a different way to the rest. And that is where the exclusive part comes from. Many companies do decide to go with the exclusive approach, and this can be justified for many different reasons, but that's one of the important things that I try to get across is, well, why would we do this? Why would we single out, for example, 5% of your workforce? The answers lie in a number of different reasons. The first one might be to do with motivation and possibly retention, and that's to provide positive feedback to those that are performing at heightened levels and represent people that could be a key part of the future of the organization. So it's that warm, fuzzy feeling that they get from feeling like their efforts are valued. The second reason might be career development and organizational development more broadly, meaning talent identification is a way of identifying your best talents to ensure that you have the best people in the most significant positions in your organization. So this requires a little bit of top-down orchestration. The third thing is to do with more of a future perspective, which is we need to be able to identify who's going to be leading our organization into the future and making sure that they're going to be ready for that task. And so talent management and the exclusive approach is about identifying those key people and making sure that they are growing into these positions that will lead the organization forward. What my research uncovers is that when you identify talent, you inevitably raise their expectations. Expectations for what happens next. And this is one thing that a lot of corporations we do work with in our research. This is one thing that they're very anxious about. Have we created a problem for ourselves if we raise expectations? What we tend to see from those that have been identified, their point of view, is that we might experience some short-term benefits. People feel a sense of pride, they feel valued, but these positive feelings can turn to more question marks if they weren't sure why they were evaluated as talent, and if they don't understand, well, what happens next? So if nothing happens, these positive feelings get replaced with feelings of uncertainty, and if left too long, maybe feelings of resentment, and that certain expectations that were raised are not being met. So I think my message coming out of that research and other research I've done is that once you've established whether it's an inclusive or exclusive approach you're taking, if it's exclusive, be clear about why you're doing it, balance your communication with talent regarding their future, and focus on development activities, developmental actions, which may then turn into important retention activities to make sure that you hold on to your best people.